Okay, everyone, welcome back to Max Street Garage. Back out on the 62 Comet S22. Now you can see these little bits of white flakes, but you can also see these little spots. Well, I made a bad choice the other day. Right after I painted this, I burnt trash, which I have a little burn pile right there. So what had happened was little bits, so you can see the flakes here come down, and because it's acidic, it made little burn holes all in this paint, or the primer. So I'm going to have to go ahead and sand this down with some 320 grit sandpaper, get it as smooth as I can, maybe shoot another coat of the primer back on it to fill in those holes that burnt through, and get this painted today. So let's get busy. And we're back. That 320 grit made this as smooth as a baby's bottom. And it's a spot right here where I didn't get nearly as much primer as I wanted to, right there and along the side. A couple other spots up here where the pieces have come down and burnt in, and up there. So I want to go ahead and shoot this with another coating of my self-etching primer. Again, it is the, I call it military olive drab, but it's going to work because, well, it has to work. Let's see what happens. And we are back. So what I accomplished this cycle was to go with the spray can over the areas where the sander had come through the primer. So I just highlighted the back lip area and different spots up on the deck lid to fill in those spots that went through. Now I also took my X-Acto knife and made a slit in the nozzle. Now I've also just learned that not all nozzles are the same. You can see this one is different than the other nozzles I have. When I put the slit in this one, it made more paint come out, but not in a fan spray. It's still more of a tubular spray. So I would not recommend putting the slit in this style of cap. The smaller ones would work better. They seem to be made better. So that is a lesson that I've just learned. This style, leave it alone. The smaller style, make the slit, and it works very well. So I'm going to another project I need to take care of, and we'll be back in just a moment. And here we go with problem number one. You can see the holes here. That's about a 1/2 inch bolt that goes through that hole. And if you look here, this is about 5/16. So not quite the same size hole is there. The holes do line up where they're supposed to be, but I'm gonna have to get a drill these holes just a little bit bigger so I can go ahead and use these bolts again, especially up here at the end, because that's a very small confined area to work in. I could use longer bolts here, but the smaller bolts here definitely need to fit in this, and since this is only 5/16 and that's 1/2 inch, you know what I have to do. So stand by. All right, welcome back. This is the final clip for this episode of Max Street Garage, painting the trunk lid. Now, something is bothering me. If you look right up here, it looks like two rattlesnake fangs sticking out, or a vampire fang. The clouds kind of go from here and circle down to that side, from here circle down to that side. I'm hoping that's not rain. I'm hoping those are horizontal clouds and not vertical clouds, because I put the final coat of paint on the trunk lid. It took the entire 12-ounce can and the second half of the turbo can, so technically 3 12-ounce coats, because I got in a hurry, didn't want to go to the other store to buy lighter primer, so using this dark green made it impossible to cover it in 1 coat or even 2 coats. So I had to go to 3 coats to get this on. Now I'm using the flat enamel only because I don't really want it to be shiny yet, because as you come around here, I noticed the rust is starting to come through on the rough spot on the roof. See that all right there? So I'm gonna have to come in, hand wet sand all of these rust spots, get this taken care of, primer it again, and then use the other 3 cans that I have of this, or at least 1 can, to spray the roof. And then the other 2 cans that I have left over, I'm going to come out, sand down the hood with some 320 grit sandpaper, maybe shoot some more primer on top of that to cover the scratches and things that I have, and then shoot this and the top parts of the fenders down to this line with the white paint, because from here down it's going to fade into solid black. So that should be much easier for the next video. So right now, be good to yourself, be nice to each other, and don't worry about tomorrow. It'll be here soon enough. Take care. Bye. All right, it is the next day after I said that was going to be the last video. Just to show you that the paint is very, very bright. You can still see, I don't know if you can see it through the video, but there's still some tiger striping or a place I didn't quite cover because I was using this darker primer. So get some 400 grit sandpaper, maybe some 800 grit, sand this down, wet sand it down, and then put a couple more coats of white on it, and that should be good to go. Because I'm going to have to redo the hood anyway, or the roof, because you can see all this rust coming through. I think that's just spots where I didn't put enough paint down. But anyway, this time, be good to yourself, be nice to each other, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.